It really is an incredibly difficult situation that this government is in, and all eyes now are on the result of the by-election in Makerfield.
David Maddox, political editor of The Independent, with my colleague Kate Devlin, Whitehall editor in the Independent lobby room in Parliament. Today's PMQs, or DPMQs, was all about by-elections, but not necessarily always the by-election we were thinking of.
Well, that's true, but first of all, I think I'm going to disagree with you that it was DPMQs. I think it was who is the Prime Minister and who will be the Prime Minister next week questions. Yeah. That was the underlying. You saw it quite a lot from Claire Coutinho, who was suggesting that this was a government on life support. She also had quite a nice line where she said to David Lammy, it was always nice to speak to somebody who has yet to resign from this government. It really is an incredibly difficult situation that this government is in, and all eyes now are on the result of the by-election in Makerfield. But yes, you're right, there was also an attempt by the Conservatives to remind everybody of the other by-election, which they think they might be in a chance of winning in Aberdeen South. So they were talking about North Sea oil. And I do think it could be quite interesting on Friday morning if Labour wins, the Conservatives potentially take Aberdeen South, though it does look as if the SNP might win that. And the person who's left with nothing is one Nigel Farage, the man who's had the most momentum in British politics for the last year and a half.
I think there's a potential on Friday morning for those results to show that the polling has been a bit of a sugar rush for reform, and that actually there's not much substantial to support it. We will see. Obviously, people are yet to vote, votes are yet to be counted, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. Tomorrow in the northwest of England is where Andy Burnham, the Greater Manchester Mayor, is standing, and all the barbed remarks were really about Andy Burnham potentially launching a very quick leadership election, or even replacing Keir Starmer, who's obviously still stuck in France at the moment as his fate is played out. The interesting one is Aberdeen South, where the former Westminster leader of the SNP has moved into the Scottish Parliament and has had to vacate his Westminster seat. Stephen Flynn, now the SNP are favourites to win it, but there is a chance for Conservatives, and that is why Claire Coutinho, the Shadow Energy Secretary, was chosen by Kemi Badenoch today, so she can show that her party is a champion of the North Sea oil and gas sector, which is based in Aberdeen. They're the ones making the clearest noises about it. It was interesting, Reform didn't have a question today. They're not obliged to have a question because they have too few MPs, but they were the missing part of today's events, and it looks like they are going to fall short. It could be quite a moment for Mr Farage. The only other thing to mention was people remembering Jo Cox's year anniversary this week of her murder by a far-right activist. Lots of lovely tributes. You've got an excellent interview of her with her sister, Kim Ledbetter, who represents her old seat, on the website.
Kim was really interesting, talking about what she thinks has changed since her sister was so brutally murdered. She talks about how she feels we haven't healed from the divisions over 10 years. Potentially, as a society, we've got more divided, and we have to stop seeing our neighbours with political disagreements as enemies and start appreciating humanity in everyone.
Perhaps that's not helped by senior politicians laughing along to conspiracy theories and to attacks on the Prime Minister's home. We had an uncomfortable moment when David Lammy called out the Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party, Matt Vickers, for doing exactly that on our news channel yesterday. Vickers had a question, so David Lammy was clearly prepared for it. But it's a reminder to everyone, not just politicians, but all of us in the political sphere, the words do matter, and you have to be careful in how you approach these issues.